You've just come back from Ukraine. For how long have you been there?
3 weeks.
What did you do there?
I wrote an article about war crimes.
Where did you go and what did you see there?
I've been to Bucha, Irpin, Gostomel, Kiev, obviously, and Kryvyi Rih. Kryvyi Rih is very close to the front line, but it's not the place where the shooting happens. My goal was to interview people who'd survived war crimes in a peaceful environment.
You went to Bucha. After your visit, what do you think? Are there any chances that those terrible pictures from Bucha were staged, as Russian propaganda says?
I consider this probability to be zero.
Why?
For two main reasons. First of all, there is a mass of reliable witnesses. We know who these murdered people were. We know their family members. We know their stories. We know that witnesses' stories from all over the city are matching well. At this point, it's pretty hard to explain how exactly it works. You can visit any house, and in nearly every house they will tell you something horrible. One of the least terrifying stories is a story of a man who hid in a basement with his daughter for a week, just as Russian soldiers occupied his home. And then once a day they let him feed his dog and throw away the feces from a bucket they had to use as a toilet. And in the end, he managed to escape from the house through deceitful means. Thoroughly and with great interest how cleverly he managed to escape. He told me about running away, what he had said to the soldiers, where he left the dog so they couldn't track him. 3 weeks later, he came back to his ruined house. They burned it before leaving. You move from house to house, and you can see that people tell very similar stories. Even if we consider this crazy option that all of those pictures were staged, imagine a city where 30,000 people live. All of them agreed together to tell exactly the same stories about Russian army at the same time. It's absolutely impossible. There is also another reason why it's not fake. I'm an experienced war reporter. I know Russian army well. I wasn't surprised by what I saw in Bucha. I was horrified. I either didn't sleep or slept too much. But I wasn't surprised, because I've seen it in Chechnya 2 times. I've heard the same stories from Syria and other hybrid wars Russia took part in. I wasn't there, but I believe the reports. But I could see what happened in Chechnya with my own eyes. It's quite enough to have no doubt in the general image. This image is documented so well now by international and Ukrainian human rights organizations.